Hey guys, it's Paul. Hey, listen, I'm going to do a very, very short video today on based on a question that I received from somebody that saw one of my other videos, and it became very clear to me that I was going to have a difficult time answering that question without actually being able to show maybe something that would show this guy maybe something that might help. And I started thinking about it. I was just like, well, you know what? I'm going to maybe if I put this out, it's going to help. It's actually on how we hold, on how the harmonica is held, and a specific problem that this guy brought up to me that I thought was perplexing, and I realized very quickly that the way I hold the harmonica is to avoid that problem. What he said was that his index finger was actually getting in the way of his lip. When he's playing. So I took a look at a couple of things, and one of the things that I realized very quickly was when I hold, this is a Marine Band Deluxe, okay? And when I hold these, I started out on the Special 20s, which, right here, and I still play them. I love these things, but the sound of a Marine Band, I mean, it's very, very difficult to beat that sound. One of the things that I realized very quickly was that there's more surface area with the Special 20, and I found that to be true when I started. So if you look, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look, I mean, just that little bit's going to make a big difference. There's more surface area on the Special 20, and also on Lee Oscars, Harp Masters, Sadel 1847s have a big surface area. The proper way to hold a harmonica, according to the books and some of the things that I've seen, or some of the sources that you're going to see out there, is to actually sandwich the harmonica. So you got like one of these numbers going, okay? So this is what they say to do, and I agree. I think it is, there's a reason for it. It's a good seal and so on and so forth. And it allows control. But one of the things that I realized is that my fat digits have to also, I have to be able to get around on it too. So what I did was that minor adjustments thing that I keep talking about, I made a minor adjustment in the angle, or how the actual harmonica lays in my hand. So, and I realized this after he asked a question. It's one of those things, after somebody says something, you should go, oh, well, wait a minute. I don't necessarily do it the way everybody says to do it. I'm hoping this helps. If you, when I hold the harmonica, I actually, you can see how there's a little bit of angle there. So the harmonica is actually sitting more like this in my hand, rather than this. That little bit might be enough to help when it comes to surface area, total surface area, and especially on a harmonica like a Marine Band, like the stock Marine Bands, this is a stock one, or an 1896, and this is a deluxe, and they're the same dimensions. So the other thing that you might want to consider is what brand harmonica or what model you're playing, and see where that helps. As you get more progressive in your playing, then you realize your grip. Invention is the mother of necessity is the mother of invention, and you eventually develop these things around your issues, or the things that you're trying to deal with as you learn or as you play. So that was one of the things that I realized very quickly. So what I do is if you look, you can actually see that the harmonica is almost resting on the outside. It's not tucked in. I can play like that, but it's only because I've learned how to do it. It's not as comfortable. And what I found is that I'm a little bit more mobile by taking the harp and just kind of moving out just a little bit, and that gives me more surface area. Of course, I can bring the instrument more into my mouth, giving me a deeper tone, and that's really, I think, one of the things that we're looking for too. Chromatics, same kind of deal. You've got different sizes. This is a super chromatica, 12-hole. Nice thing about these is that you can actually make that cup, and you can cover a lot of surface area. because of the size, and I think that's probably one of the reasons so many guys like these. I love them. I love how they sound. It's classic sound. Super 64, very big harp. On the 16 holes, when you're holding them, you're making some changes. And you know, generally you're going to know the playing area that you're going to be in, and you got to make those minor adjustments to move around a little bit. On something like this, which is a CBH, this is a 2016. Don't make them anymore, but it's a very, very big harmonica. Same principle, you know. It's just what works. So I guess the bottom line is, if you're having a tough time fitting on the instrument, two things: look at the minor adjustments that you can make to how you're holding it, one, until you get to the point where you're comfortable, and two, maybe look at the which instrument you're playing. You know, I remember when I was a kid and I was in band. When I was starting in band, I wanted to play the saxophone. Of course, most harmonica players do, but I ended up with the trumpet because I was a little kid and I couldn't fit on the saxophone. So I was already a drummer at that point, and I really wanted to play drums, but all the kids were playing drums. That's a long story. Anyway, you get my point. It was just, you get my point. I gotta stop saying that in these videos. It drives me crazy. I listen back and I sound. Anyway, okay. A couple of things that I wanted to talk about also real quick was a couple of books. There's a couple of books that I've found that I've had for a while that I think it's come to my attention that maybe some people aren't really aware of them, or one or two of them. One of them in particular is this book right here, the Harp Handbook by Steve Baker. If you don't have this and you're a harmonica player, I highly suggest you get it. It's like our Bible. It covers everything. It's got all different, you know, it's got history of the harmonica, you know, different tuning systems, maintenance, customizing, a little bit of customizing, different tunings, different layouts of the harmonicas, styles. It's got exercises, and it comes with a couple of CDs. It really, really is a good book. I love it, and I keep going back to it all the time. Another guy that puts out great books is Mr. Gindick, Mr. John Gindick. What a great dude. I love him to death. I know him. He's a great guy, and I just can't say enough about him. This book, Rock and Blues Harmonica, he's got a couple of books out. You're going to want to check him out. This one, you know, it's a little bit more story. You know, it's in a story, but it covers a lot of good stuff. I mean, it's, you know, the 1, 3, 1, 4, 5, and you know, the drawing, you know, notes, the wailing notes, bending. Dave Barrett, who has a website, is it bluesharmonica.com? It's in my favorites, so I just go to it. But it's one of the best resources for tongue block. I swear the guy is amazing. But he's got a couple of books out that I used, and he's got a bunch of books out. But these are the ones that I really liked, and this is Scales, Patterns, and Exercises, or Bending Exercises. Number 1, great book. I highly suggest it. Covers a lot of good stuff in there. And it's easy to read and understand. This is Improvising Blues Harmonica. One of the only books that I know of that's actually on improvising, and he seems to have nailed it. So it's another really good book. And then of course you got some of the you got some of these books like Bending the Blues. I got this at Barnes and Noble. Good little book. It's got some basic stuff in it. It explains it's got some licks, and it explains how bending actually works. Good little pictures on what we've been talking about. What I talked about in one of my videos on the Airstream. And I've seen this book over and over in Barnes and Noble. So you know. Richard Slay, who's not only an amazing guy as a person, but he's a great harmonica customizer. I have one of his marine bands, and it's a key of A, and I'm afraid to play it because I don't want to ruin it. I just love it so much, but I play it all the time. Anyway, Turbocharger Harmonica. this is a great book if you want to get into tuning and all that kind of stuff. Very easy to follow, makes a lot of sense. He explains the reeds, you know, how to get them in shape, how to make your harps play a little bit better. Turbocharger harmonica. Look him up, Richard Slay. You can get it on the internet. I ordered it directly from him. And then, you know, little books like this Simply Harmonica. This one actually shows that, what I was talking about with the holding of the harmonica. It actually shows, it actually shows that. Okay, so yes, that is the proper way to hold a harmonica, but I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be rigid about it. Use what works, and then think maybe about the playing field that you're on. Maybe you just need a different size harp. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe what you need to do is just kind of figure it out on the instrument that you want to play, and it's just like how to fit yourself to it. That was a tough question. It really was, and I'm really hoping that whatever I put out here, I'm rambling, helped. But if you have any questions, let me know, guys. And I really appreciate the feedback and a lot of the great comments that I've been getting. I just think that the harmonica is a great little instrument. I really love it, and I hope that it's giving everybody out there as much joy as it has me. And if there are any questions, or if there's anything that I can do to help anybody else, please let me know. We're all in this together. We're all learning together. And you guys take care and have a great day, okay? See ya. Bye.